So I just received the Sony FDR AX43 camcorder today. So I thought I would get some nice video of these horses up close. Since I haven't been able to with the phone camera. And this is a breeding facility here, so not only are these beautiful horses, but they're high quality genetics. I believe these guys breed for racing, but I'm not entirely sure of that. But I thought I'd get a shot of them. Well, I could get some good footage of them now that we have a little bit better videography tools. Geese are out here too. I guess we'll get a shot of them. So that's a pretty good regenerative model. You got the horses out here grazing and pooping, and the geese coming along and eating all the bugs as a result of that. That's a pretty good base regenerative system for pasture. And so here we are up at the farm, and it's dry here, and I guess we're supposed to get some rain the next day or two, but at least that's what my neighbor said. But I looked at the forecast, and all I'm seeing is cloudy. And at this point in the season, it's time. We're done. There are still a few plants here with some green on them, which is actually quite impressive for the weather. But I brought along some crates and a shovel, and I'm going to start the process of harvesting, in part to start getting some up out of the ground and get on with the process, and also in part to get a nice idea of what it's actually going to take to harvest these, because it's all by hand this year. Maybe next year we can get a potato digger, but we'll see. There's lots of other equipment to repair, upgrade, and fix in the process. And then of course there'll be ongoing computer upgrades as well, because now filming everything in 4K, we're going to start hogging hard drive space even faster, so I'll need to upgrade hard drives and all that. So I guess while we're here, I'll just point out these how green these still are here. So I'm not going to dig the ones that are still very green. Let me give a close-up of the leaves here. And you can see they're like speckled and spotted and whatever, but it's interesting that even through all that dry weather, they're still trying to grow. This other row too. And then the far row, I don't think so much here. We'll take a stroll over here. Yeah, well, actually, some of those are green still too. And I believe these down here in the end are the ones that came from Dan Kittredge of the Bionutrient Food Association. There were a few leftovers I had in the spring, and they were sprouting, so I just put them in. But everything else in this row is looking pretty shot, so maybe we'll start down here on this row and probably pick up this row from where the green ends and they go brown and work our way on up. As I'm digging, I discovered this little newt here. I used to find these little guys up in Delhi in the Catskill Mountains all the time. Basically, they're a baby salamander, but they're orange when they're young like this. He's a cool little guy. Glad I didn't get him with the shovel. We're here and I've got the camera out. I should give you a close look of this soil structure down deep in the rows here. It's exactly what we want to see. Remember, we disked this up and everything was dry powder early this season. But in just 100 days, we've turned the soil back into nice aggregate crumb structure. And you can see it holds together in little bit clumps around the root structure, but falls apart willingly. That's pretty nice soil structure for 100 days. Guess we'll just grab you a shot here on the pixel. Some of these are really nice sizes. We're getting up into the better soils. Some of the plants still have a little bit of green on them up in here as they're coming out. But getting a decent amount. So some of these ones where the stems got bigger, like I was talking about, we got some real nice sized potatoes. And in some cases 2 and even 3 of those sized potatoes. And when they aren't that size, we're getting a bunch more of the smaller stuff. But, you know, probably 3 pounds of potatoes altogether there. Not bad. I found a couple here with some holes in them, like this. And I'm not familiar with this. I've never had this happen before on potatoes. But the neighbor stopped by and he was saying his potatoes were mostly like this all through them. Some kind of bug in them. So I'll probably leave these out in the field here rather than take them back with me. But I thought I'd get a clip of them and maybe I'll break or cut one open. Interesting, that's that same one that was all beat up like that on the outside. But I don't see any evidence inside of them except for where they got into the edge of this one here. I don't know what to make of that. All right, I've gone along and dug a much larger sample set than the previous video, and we're having good results here. Just thought I would do a pass through quick here, just to show what's here. That's one row. And then third row in, I went back down this the other way. This was less well populated, just more sparse germination or planting. I might have caught a few of these up with the pillar and drug them up upstream or something. But overall not bad. And I just ran into the red potatoes that came from Dan Kittredge on this last hole. And those are pretty abundant, pretty nice yield there. So that goes and says something about the quality of the seed that came from him, as I would expect. I'll just give you a shot of the potatoes in the crates here. And you can see we got some pretty nice size ones here. And a little bit of scrape cut there, I think, from the bed former clipping them maybe. But pretty nice. Mixed batch of sizes, but some nice size stuff. That's one crate. And this is the other crate. This is loaded too. And I only clipped 2 potatoes. This one with a shovel, and this one. And everything else made it through without clipping them, so that's pretty good. I would guess, I haven't put these on the scale yet, but I would guess this is probably 30 pounds, 35 pounds, maybe as much as 40. This is probably 15 to 20 in that range. And I pasted out, it's about a 100-foot row that I've harvested so far. You know the words, sing along with me. You always reap what you sow.